Scream 5, Scream 2022,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. I've seen people bitching that I don't call it Scream 5. It's the first movie in a new trilogy. Like, bro, it's Scream 5, dude. Like, are you kidding me?
Maybe to people who are just getting into the franchise, it's their first Scream movie, but nah, this is Scream 5, and I'm going to always call it Scream 5.
It's like, I don't know why the studios do this shit. They do it to confuse people like this, and it just creates controversy. I
Yeah,
don't
it's because
understand it, man.
It tricks people into thinking it's a remake, so they'll be
Yeah.
like, oh, the sequels I have to be caught up on. I'll go see this one since it's the first one, apparently.
As you can already guess, we're here to talk about Scream 5. I'm going to emphasize that because it's Scream 5, the fifth movie.
5.
I'll die on that hill. I'll get my thoughts out first. I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I don't like to lie and bullshit people. Like, I like to call it like I see it and tell the truth. I don't want to be like a fake person. I don't like this movie as much as I did when I initially saw it. I've had a few repeat viewings, and I don't know what it is. I think just the more I see, I just think the more I watch, the more I think Richie and Amber are kind of ridiculous characters with a horrible plan. A lot of their plan hinges on like certain things falling into place that weren't a guarantee. So it's like, well, how did you know? Like the hospital, their whole plan was to get them at the house at the end. Like the hospital, how did you know there was a guarantee Dewey wasn't going to kill Amber? I mean, all Dewey's dumbass had to do was shoot her in the fucking head. And you thought he would have learned that because he was told to shoot Roman in the fucking head. So it's like, dude, I get it. They had to keep Ghostface alive. I get it. But it's like, when you try to think realistically, it just all falls apart, man. And another thing I just don't care for anymore is, I get it. Their whole motive was based on what really happens today with fandoms. It makes sense because it does happen, but I just think it's a cheesy motive, man. And some, kind of weak plot devices. And I'm probably going to catch heat for this, but I don't care because I tell the truth, man. I say what I really feel. I like the Billy Loomis thing a lot less the more I watch this movie. Just not a fan of, and I'm not a fan of Sam. I think she's a boring character. I don't get Sydney final girl vibes from her, and I think they kind of went out of their way to make her too much like Sydney to be the new Sydney, and I just don't. I don't know. I don't like it. But like I said, there are a lot of stuff I still like about. There are a lot of things I still like about this movie, but overall, it's a fun watch, dude. But I don't know. I just don't like it as much as I did. The first
Okay.
time I saw it.
So this is all news to me, man. Like, you've kind of, I feel like your opinion on this movie has sort of shifted since we last talked about it. Interesting.
A little bit. I watched it a few weeks ago on Paramount Plus, and then I kind of skimmed through it again last week. I'm not saying it's a trash movie. I still enjoy it. Like, I enjoy every Scream movie. But I guess I noticed Scream Legacy was coming out when it first came out. We were on the highest Scream, or I was at least, and I don't know, man. I guess it was the excitement of a new Scream movie coming out. Maybe it clouded my vision a little bit, but the more I get to sit down and watch it and really analyze it, the more stuff that I just didn't care for, I find. But with all that being said, it's got some fun sequences. It's got some fun characters. It's got some really good kills. Yeah, I mean, it's still a fun movie to me, but I just wanted to point out, like, I've noticed some things. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, still a fun movie.
Yeah, me, you, and Jordan went and saw this, which was a lot of fun. And I was rewatching this the other night in preparation for this retrospective. And one of the things that I noticed that really struck me that I hadn't noticed before that I thought was really cool was, well, it's something I noticed, but it's something that it just didn't really click. It's this movie is subtly scary also in a lot of ways. For example, going back to what you were talking about Dewey's death, and I've sort of touched on this before, the way Gale calls Dewey, and that's essentially what gets him killed. Like, that taps into a fear that I've always had. Like, for example, when I know people that I know are driving somewhere, I never text them because I'm afraid something bad's going to happen. So that one little detail taps into that fear that I have. And then also another way that this movie is really subtly scary is there's several instances in this movie where you see what could be a Ghostface robe in a bag, like I don't know if you noticed, but in Amber's basement, there's it looks like it's just a straight up Ghostface robe just hanging there. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's multiple scenes like that, where there's, there also in Wes's house, they do the same thing when he opens the door and it's making you think that Ghostface is going to be there, but no, it's just some coat hanging there. They do that a lot, and I thought they did that really well.
Yeah, they do. This movie still has some clever sequences. I think Kyle Gallner's death was a little anticlimactic, just a quick little jab to the throat. Although I do love the use of Red Right Hand and some of the visuals, but I will give him credit for that, for kind of re-upping the gore and not necessarily the gore, but re-upping the suspense and the tension. Because off the top of my head, we didn't get many. Did we get many cat and mouse moments in Scream 4? Not nearly as much as we did here. So I think they brought that back. And the suspense overall, especially in the opening with Jenna Ortega and with the hospital sequence, and then with Wes and Judy, there's some really, really well crafted tension in those scenes. So,
for that. Yeah, what really adds to that tension is this movie really brought back a lot of the cinematography sensibilities of Scream 1. For example, I didn't even notice this the first few times I watched it, but there's a lot of Dutch angles in this that are really reminiscent of Scream 1. They don't linger on them as much. And then also the way you got those sort of steady cam shots that are really like Ghostface is literally an entity in the house just watching these people that he's on the phone with. And I always thought that was a really cool element of Scream, just in terms of cinematography. And this movie utilized it really well.
Just going back on my complaint of stupid character decisions, I forgot to mention what really bothered me was I first off, I get it from a filmmaking standpoint. You couldn't have had a long drawn out scene if you would have not done this, but again, this is me looking realistically, and I know it's a fucking movie. Sometimes you're not supposed to look at it realistically, but it's like the first fucking thing Judy Hicks would have done is pulled out a fucking gun. Like there's no question. No sheriff is gonna grab a knife and walk slowly around her house. She's gonna grab her gun, either call backup, clear every room, gun in hand. It's just stupid character decisions.
I will admit,
but like I said, if they would have done that the realistic route, we wouldn't have got the long drawn out scene. And I get it; it's a movie.
Yeah,
I get it, but sometimes it's hard to look past that, man. But whatever.
Yeah, I think it was really brave of Ghostface to just kill the sheriff in broad daylight in front of her house. That's sort of like Ghostface making a statement, because he just killed the sheriff.
I know. I just like no neighbors. There's a lot of problems with that death scene I have, but I get it. It's still a cool scene overall from a tension standpoint. But it's like, man, I try to turn my brain off, because, like I said, I know it's a movie, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard not to, But yeah, man. I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, fun. It's still a fun movie. A lot of good stuff. A lot of great stuff about it. A lot of stuff I do enjoy about it. I think the more I watch it, the less I like Dewey dying in the hospital sequence. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me. But at the end of the day, this franchise has been pretty damn good. I don't think there's a trash movie in this. So I wouldn't consider this trash at all. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I like. But that was just what I wanted to say mostly. Is just the more I've watched it, the more flaws I've noticed. Things I don't really care for. But does it ruin the movie for me? Nah, I'll still watch it and have a good time.
I will say, though, I do agree with you. I want to walk it back a little bit. My one minor gripe that still nags at me about Dewey's death, and it's like you said, when Dewey said he was going to go for the head, or he didn't say he was going to go for the head. When he said go back, I was like, okay, good, Dewey. You learned your lesson. You're going to go shoot him in the head. Good for you, Dewey. And then he doesn't. And I was like, what?
Well, here's another thing that really bothered me is Ghostface has you pinned down. You shoot him, her. You shoot her 4 or 5 times. She falls back, crashes down. Instead of rushing over there to one, take off the mask to see who it is, and also probably shoot him in the fucking head, you go pick up Richie to get out of there. Like, again, maybe I'm thinking too realistically, because then again, you ruin the entire movie. I get it, but it's hard to look past that sometimes. It's like Scream 2, man, when Sidney and Hallie are slowly climbing over the car. Take the fucking mask off. What are you doing? See who it is. I get it though. You wouldn't have the finale. I get it. That's why I'm not too hung up on that. But it's like it's hard to look past it. But I guess I have to force myself sometimes. Like, it's a movie, just look past it. But it's like I can't help but notice that shit sometimes. So,
I mean, they called Wes Craven master of suspense for a reason, I guess. And I don't think it's healthy for human beings. It was like Stranger Things season 4. It's not healthy for human beings to be held in that level of suspense for so long. It's stressful, but it's also like a coaster ride.
Yeah. Well, the stuff I just complained about, the realistic stuff, is why I did what I did in Legacy. Like, I tried to take, when Omar's character has Ghostface pinned down, he's punching him. I thought in real life, a cop is going to try to take the mask off. So that's why I had Omar do that. But then he gets interrupted. So you could still have the finale. As long as you try to do something similar, like maybe have Dewey go over there, reach for the mask, and she stabs him then. It's like, that would have been a little more realistic than, oh, fuck him, he's down. Let me go pick up Richie, a fucking 6'3" grown ass man, and help him up to his feet. Like, come on, dude. But like I said, again, I'm thinking too realistic. It's a fucking movie. I get it. So I'm done. Rant over.
I think it laid the perfect groundwork for Scream 6 and 7. So I'm excited to see where this franchise continues to go. It's exciting times for Scream fans.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. But with that said, if you got anything else to add, we can wrap this up and get out of here.
Cut it, Casper. That's a wrap.
Let's get it. All right. Well, thanks for checking this out. What do you think of Scream 5? Let me know in the comments. Let us know so we can read about it. So, yeah, hey, thanks for joining me again, dude. It's always a pleasure doing these videos with you.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, we see y'all later.